Welcome back to Declutter Reset. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever cleaned for an hour, put toys away, wiped the counters, folded the laundry only to step back and think, why does it still feel messy? It's not that things are everywhere, but the space still feels heavy, unsettled, like nothing's truly done. For the longest time, I thought I just needed better storage or more energy or a new cleaning schedule. But the truth is, most of us don't need more systems, we need fewer things to manage. That's where minimalist habits changed everything for me. In yesterday's video, we talked about how complicated organizing methods can actually drain your time and add more mental load. Today, I'm showing you the exact habits I rely on, 12 small but powerful shifts that help me reset my home without constantly cleaning or starting over. These aren't fancy tricks, they're things I do in real life in a real house with real distractions. So if you're tired of always tidying but never feeling caught up, this is for you. And the first habit I'm sharing, I honestly wish I'd known it 5 years ago. Let's get into it. Number 1, let's start with something small that honestly saves my sanity every single morning. You know, those rushed mornings where you're already behind and somehow you're crawling on the floor, trying to find a matching sock like it's a scavenger hunt you didn't sign up for. It's a tiny detail, but it creates unnecessary chaos when your brain's already full. What I realized was, if the start of my day feels scattered, everything else feels harder. Breakfast feels more stressful, I snap faster at my kids, and my whole rhythm is off. And weirdly, socks were part of that chain reaction. So here's what I did. I threw out every mismatched, stretched out sock I owned and started fresh. I bought 2 10-packs of the same dark gray socks, nothing fancy. Now they all live in one open bin. I don't fold them, I don't match them. I just reach in, grab any 2, and I'm done. I even did the same for my kids, 1 color each, no cartoon prints, no, but I wanted the dinosaur pair drama. And the result mornings just flow. It's 1 less decision, 1 less interruption, and way less arguing. Plus laundry is easier because I'm not sitting there pairing 15 little socks like I'm solving a puzzle. This is exactly the kind of low-effort, high-impact shift that I'll be building on tomorrow. I'll be sharing my full reset drawer setup, the drawer in my hallway that keeps the morning rush from turning into a meltdown. So make sure you check back for that. And if you're someone who wants a quick win, something you can do today, even with just 10 minutes, the next habit might be exactly what you need. Some days the house doesn't look messy, but it just feels off. You walk into a room and nothing's technically wrong, but the space feels unsettled. There's that random pile of receipts, a hoodie on the back of the chair, a tote bag leaning against the wall from 3 days ago. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, but it nags at you quietly all day. That's when I do my 10 for 10 reset. I grab a laundry basket or a shopping bag, set a 10-minute timer, and walk around the house, grabbing 10 things that don't belong. I'm not sorting, I'm not decluttering deeply, just relocating or tossing whatever's clearly out of place. Last week I did this while waiting for water to boil. I ended up with a basket full of mail, 2 plastic containers, a broken pencil, and a bunch of kid art that had been stuck to the fridge since February. What surprised me is how effective this is, even when you're low on energy. I've done it barefoot in pajamas after a long day just because I couldn't stand that feeling of ugh when looking around. The trick is to not overthink. You're not organizing, you're just clearing the noise. 10 things, 10 minutes, no pressure. And often I don't even make it to 10 because halfway through I already feel better. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. These tiny resets tell your brain things are shifting, and that's often all you need. The space feels noticeably lighter, and you didn't have to block off your afternoon to get there. And the next habit builds on this idea because if clutter keeps creeping back in, the way we buy things might be the real issue. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about shopping and that quiet little voice that says it's just a small thing, and it's so cute, like maybe it's a mug with a funny quote, or a candle that smells like a beach vacation, or a dress you'd wear if you ever had time to go out. You see it, you like it, you buy it. And then it sits. I had a drawer full of those things, little items that gave me a dopamine hit in the moment but never made it into real use. At one point I had 4 identical notebooks I bought because the covers were beautiful. Not one of them had a single word written inside. It was like a stationary museum dedicated to good intentions. That's when I realized if something only brings joy in the store but turns into guilt at home, it's not worth it. Now I have a rule. When I see something cute, I pause. I let it sit in my cart or my brain for at least 48 hours. And I ask myself, do I already own something similar? Where would I actually keep this? Will it end up in a maybe later bin under my bed next to that yogurt maker I used once? Here's the thing, cute isn't bad, but if every all item turns into another thing to dust, fold, store, or feel guilty about, is it really serving you? This shift hasn't just saved me money, it's cleared my space and cut down on decision fatigue. I'm no longer storing items I don't use, cleaning around things I don't wear, or feeling overwhelmed by options that don't fit my reality. When I stopped shopping for my fantasy self, I started building a space that works for my real life, and that feels way better than owning 10 cute things I never touch. And when you start saying no to what doesn't serve you, you naturally create more room for what does, which is exactly where we're going next. You ever open a closet and think, this could fit more if I just rearranged it? And next thing you know, you're standing on a stool trying to wedge a basket into a space that clearly doesn't want it. I used to do that all the time. I thought organizing meant filling every inch perfectly, like winning some imaginary game of home Tetris. But then I realized real life homes aren't Tetris boards. You don't actually win by cramming more stuff in. You win when you can breathe. These days, when I look at a shelf or a drawer, I don't try to max it out. I leave space on purpose. Our entry closet used to have 5 baskets, one for every category: hats, gloves, masks, winter stuff, just in case stuff. It looked so organized until we actually had to use it. Now I keep 2, one for daily things, one for seasonal overflow, that's it. The rest is open space and it works so much better. I can toss things in without playing basket Jenga, and everything feels calmer just from being easier to reach. Even the kitchen drawer that used to overflow with measuring spoons now has one extra empty section just so things don't feel cramped. I don't always fill containers to the brim anymore, and I've stopped stacking bins inside of bins. Because sure, it might look tidy for a day, but it never feels sustainable. I was creating systems that only worked if I behaved like a robot, and last time I checked, I still had a human brain. There's something surprisingly powerful about not filling a space. Empty shelves used to make me feel like I was wasting storage, but now I see them as space I've protected, space I've chosen not to give away. And now that we've started clearing physical space, it's time to talk about something just as important: mental space. Let's go there. You know, that one item you keep picking up and putting back? You hold it, look at it, maybe set it aside in a maybe pile, and then it somehow ends up right back where it started. I've done that more times than I can count. Especially with clothes I used to love or things I spent good money on but never really used. At some point I had to admit I wasn't decluttering, I was circling. So I started using a rule that helped me break that loop, the 5-5-5 rule. I ask myself, will I care about this thing in 5 minutes, in 5 days, in 5 years? It sounds too simple, I know, but it gives me just enough pause to see what really matters. That scratchy sweater I kept because it was expensive, I forgot about it in 5 days. The gift I felt guilty giving away, I couldn't even remember who gave it to me. Meanwhile, I've kept my late grandfather's wristwatch even though it doesn't work, because 5 years from now, I know I'll still want to hold on to that. And here's the weird part. Once I started using this rule, I began trusting myself more. I didn't feel like I had to justify every decision with spreadsheets and second guessing. I could just look at an item and say, nope, not worth 5 years of storing it. Or sometimes, yes, this still matters. And either way, I move forward instead of spinning. This little check-in has made it easier to release the stuff I was only keeping out of guilt, cost, or indecision. Not everything needs deep analysis. Sometimes it just needs perspective. And now that we've talked about what to let go of, let's look at how we can stop bringing clutter in, especially when it hides behind smart spending. Let's talk about just breaking it up into payments. That phrase used to make me feel like anything was affordable. $100 blender, only $25 a month. New shoes pay in 4 easy installments. Somehow everything became tempting when it was divided small enough. And then one day I looked around and realized so many of the things I was still paying for, I had already stopped using. That fancy juicer I swore would make me healthy, I used it for 1 week. The LED face mask, tried it once, forgot to charge it. And yes, I was still making payments for both. So now I have a rule: if I wouldn't be willing to buy it twice in full, I pause. It's not about being anti-spending, it's about slowing down the part of me that confuses manageable payments with good decisions. Because I've learned the hard way that easy payments don't mean the item fits my life, they just delay the moment I regret buying it. This mindset has changed the way I shop. I don't chase sales the same way. I think twice before adding things to cart, especially when the only reason I'm saying yes is, well, it's just $12 today. If it's not worth $12 mentally and physically in my space, I let it go. Buying less doesn't just save money, it keeps your home from filling up with items you're not even excited about, just slightly obligated to. And when that weight is gone, everything feels easier to manage. And speaking of managing better, there's a way to make every room feel less overwhelming, just by changing how you move through it. Let's talk about that next. Sometimes you walk into a room and it feels like a mess exploded overnight. Toys, scattered pillows on the floor, dishes in places they shouldn't be. And in that moment, it's so easy to freeze. You look around and your brain just quietly says, nope. I used to try to tackle it all at once, jump from sofa to coffee table to bookshelf, picking random things up as I saw them. But it never felt done. I was always reacting, never finishing. And honestly, I'd burn out halfway through and leave it messier than when I started. Then I tried something ridiculously simple. I picked one corner of the room, started there, and didn't move on until it was done. Just that one zone. I'd tidy the kids' toy bin first, then move to the couch area, then the table, then the TV stand. No back and forth, no zigzagging, just one full lap of the room, like following a calm, quiet path. It sounds small, but it gave me two things I didn't have before: momentum and closure. Finishing one space completely feels better than half doing the whole room. And when I loop around and end back at the door, there's a clear sense of, okay, I handled that. It's especially helpful when time is short. You don't need a deep clean, you just need focus. And this gives you that no pressure to finish everything, just a gentle rhythm to follow that keeps you moving forward. And now that we've got the room under control, let's talk about something even sneakier than visual clutter, those decisions hiding in your drawers. You ever open a drawer and think, when did I get so much stuff? You don't remember buying it all, and yet here it is, overflowing baskets, overstuffed shelves, backup versions of backup items. And most of it you didn't plan to accumulate, it just snuck in. That's what clutter does, it creeps. Slowly, one well-meaning purchase, one freebie, one gift at a time, until suddenly everything feels full again, even after a good declutter. So I started following one simple rule: if something comes in, something else goes out. One in, one out. Bought a new pair of shoes, pick one to donate. Got a new water bottle, let go of the one with the broken lid you keep saying you'll fix. Someone gave me a candle last month, cute, but I already had 4. So I gave away the one I never light. No drama, no guilt, just flow. And honestly, there's something satisfying about it. It's like I'm telling my home, I see you, I'm paying attention now. I've even turned it into a little moment when I buy something new. I take 60 seconds to check where it'll go, what it might replace, and how I'll use it. That pause makes the whole thing more intentional. It's not a strict system. Sometimes it's 1 in, 2 out, sometimes it's delayed, but the point is it keeps the balance visible. I don't wait until a drawer explodes before I pay attention. I keep the motion going gently, in and out. This habit doesn't just manage physical clutter, it creates awareness. You start noticing what's worth bringing in at all. And that awareness, it adds up. Next, let's talk about the invisible clutter that piles up even when you're not shopping, the kind that lives in your brain. You know, those small things, you keep moving from one spot to another. Mail you meant to open, receipts you meant to toss, a return you meant to make, but didn't, so they just live there. not dramatic enough to demand action, but always present enough to bother you. That's what I call mental clutter in disguise. Because even when your home looks okay on the surface, these little unresolved tasks hang around in your head. And the worst part, we touch them over and over without ever actually dealing with them. So I started using the one-touch rule. If I pick something up, I either put it away, throw it out, or deal with it right then. Not set it down somewhere nicer, not move it to tomorrow me's problem pile. If I'm not ready to handle it, I try not to pick it up at all. It sounds small, but it's a game changer. I used to move the same utility bill from counter to desk to nightstand. Now I open it, scan it, pay it, and it's done. 5 minutes versus 5 days of low-grade stress. Same with packages, kids' school forms, and random grocery bags I used to ignore in the car until the milk went sour. When I actually follow this, I don't just have less physical mess, I have less brain noise. Fewer tabs open in my mind, more moments where I feel like, okay, I'm on top of things. And speaking of open loops, there's a way to clear the mental tabs at the end of each day, even when your body's tired and your brain is buzzing. Let's go there next. There's a kind of clutter that doesn't sit on your counters, it spins in your head. You lie down at night and suddenly remember the email you forgot to send the school form. You still haven't signed the thing you meant to grab from the store 3 days ago. It's like your brain waits until you're horizontal to start hosting a meeting. That used to be my every night. I'd feel tired, but my mind kept buzzing. Not with deep thoughts, just noisy, nagging, unfinished ones. I wasn't sleeping badly because of stress, I was sleeping badly because I hadn't offloaded the junk. So now I do something simple, I dump my brain. Nothing fancy, just grab a notebook or open the Notes app on my phone and spill everything out. Groceries, to-dos, questions, half-baked ideas, texts I need to reply to. No organizing, no categorizing, just get it out of my head and into the light. It's messy and often illegible, but it works. It's like saying, okay brain, I've got it, you can rest now. I sleep better, I wake up less anxious, and I don't carry yesterday's unfinished loops into today. Sometimes what we need isn't more planning, it's permission to put things down. And this habit gives me that. Next up, let's bring the focus back to your physical space with a trick that creates calm without organizing a single thing. If you've ever opened a drawer and thought, ooh, I could fit more in here, you're not alone. Our brains are wired to maximize space to fill, stack, optimize. But here's the problem: when every shelf is full, every basket packed tight, and every cabinet crammed to the brim, there's no room left for life to happen. I used to think empty space was wasted space. If I had an open shelf, I felt like I was doing it wrong, like I should go find something to store there. But slowly, I started giving myself permission to leave room on purpose. Now, when I organize a drawer, I aim for 80% full. Not 100%. I leave a bit of breathing room, not for show, not for aesthetic, but because life shifts. Things come and go. You need somewhere to toss the extra lunchbox, or the new coloring book, or the thing you forgot you ordered online. That open space becomes flexibility. There's a calm that happens when your stuff isn't living at maximum capacity. You can move things around. You can grab what you need without lifting 5 layers of containers. You don't have to play Tetris with your own kitchen. And that empty corner, that's not underused. That's where your peace lives. Let's wrap up with one final shift that helps tie all of this together, the small end-of-day move that makes tomorrow easier before it even starts. Some nights you just want to collapse. The kitchen's a mess, the couch still has snack crumbs, and the floor is covered in socks and crayons. You look around and think, nope, not tonight. And honestly, sometimes that's the right call. But most nights I've found that doing just one small reset helps tomorrow feel a little less uphill. So I ask myself, what's the one area that would make tomorrow easier if I dealt with it now? Sometimes it's clearing the kitchen counter, sometimes it's wiping the sink or lining up the shoes at the door. It takes 5 minutes, but walking out in the morning and seeing one clear space, it gives me a tiny sense of control. Like, okay, today's not starting from zero. This isn't about ending the day perfectly, it's about ending it intentionally, giving your future self a little gift, a pause, a clean slate even in the smallest corner. And honestly, on the messiest, most overwhelming days, that small effort is often the one thing that keeps me grounded. Let's wrap this all up together. So that's it, 12 small habits that helped me reset how my home feels and how I feel inside it. You don't need to do them all at once. Just pick one that feels doable today. Maybe it's the sock drawer, maybe it's clearing your nightstand before bed, maybe it's finally letting go of that cute but useless thing that's been sitting in the corner for months. Whatever it is, let it be small and let it count. Because what actually changes your home isn't one big makeover. It's the gentle daily decision to treat your space with respect, to stop adding what doesn't belong, to put down what's been weighing on you, and to believe that yes, less really can be enough. If this video helped you feel a little more clear, a little more steady, I'd love for you to subscribe. I make videos like this every week to support women like you who want less chaos, more ease, and a home that actually feels like a soft place to land. And if you want to go deeper, the next video in this series walks you through decluttering one of the most emotional spaces in the house, your bedroom. I'll see you there.